Namaste and welcome to Sri Chakrada Education, guiding IGNOU students since 2010. Today we answer one question completely. Who can be your IGNOU project guide or supervisor? How do you find one? And how do you get them approved? Here is the direct answer first. Your IGNOU project guide must be a subject expert recognized by IGNOU. That usually means a faculty member of the concerned IGNOU school, an approved academic counselor of your program, or an external teacher or professional who meets your program's qualification and experience rules. You do not pay your guide. A relative can never be your guide, and the guide is approved along with your synopsis on the official Proforma. So what exactly is a project guide? In every IGNOU project course, whether it is the MBA project MMPP-001, the MCom project MCOP-001, or the MCA project MCSP-232, the university requires you to work under a qualified supervisor. The guide is your academic mentor. They help you shape the topic, plan the research, and keep the work original. And they certify your project at every stage with their signature. Now understand why this matters so much. Your synopsis, also called the project proposal, is submitted together with your guide's details and signatures. If the guide is missing, ineligible, or the papers are incomplete, the proposal is simply not entertained. In short, no approved guide means no synopsis approval, and no synopsis approval means no project. One more thing, a guide is not. A guide is not a paid project writer. IGNOU is very clear that the complete project work must be done by the student, and the guide's role is guidance only. Anyone who offers to write your project for you is not acting as a guide, and treating them as one can put your degree at risk. Here is our roadmap for today. First, the exact eligibility rules, program by program. Second, the 6 golden rules every guide must satisfy, and where to actually find one. Third, the bio data and the documents your guide signs. And fourth, the guide's real role, what happens when approval goes wrong, and how to change a guide correctly. Everything in this video is based on official IGNOU project guidelines and program handbooks, cross-checked for the current January and July sessions, and simplified from our experience of guiding IGNOU students since 2010 at IGNOUproject.com. Rules can differ slightly by program and session, so always confirm the final word in your own program guide on ignou.ac.in. Let us begin with the biggest question. Who exactly qualifies to be your supervisor? Who is eligible to be an IGNOU project guide? Let us break it down clearly. Across almost every IGNOU program, one universal principle applies. Your guide must be a subject expert in the area of your topic, with the qualification and experience your program guide prescribes, and they must be formally accepted by IGNOU through your project proposal. Eligibility on paper is the entry ticket. Approval by the university is the final word. Broadly eligible guides come from 3 categories. Category 1, faculty of the concerned IGNOU school at headquarters. Category 2, approved academic counselors of your program at the study centers. And Category 3, external faculty members or working professionals who hold the required master's level qualification and the minimum experience in the relevant field. Now the program-wise picture, starting with management and commerce. For the IGNOU MBA project MMPP-001, and similarly for the MCom project MCOP-001, the guide can be management or commerce faculty of the School of Management Studies, an approved academic counselor of the program, management faculty with 5 years of postgraduate teaching experience, or a professional holding a master's degree in management, commerce, or an allied discipline, with at least 5 years of experience in the relevant area. And here is the detail most students miss, the subject match rule. The experience must be in the area of your topic. If your topic is finance, your guide should be a finance specialist. If your topic is marketing, IGNOU expects 5 years of marketing experience after the master's degree. A qualified guide from the wrong specialization can still cost you approval. For computer programs, the bar is defined differently. For the MCA project MCSP-232 and the BCA project, the guide should hold a BE or BTech in computer science, an MCA or an MSc in computer science, with a minimum of 2 years of experience, preferably in software development. And IGNOU prefers that your guide comes from the organization where you are doing the project work. Psychology has its own standard. For the MAPC project courses, the guide should hold an MPhil or PhD in psychology, with at least 2 years of teaching experience. And there is a helpful relaxation here. If your guide is your program's academic counselor, their bio data is not required with the synopsis. Other programs follow the same pattern with their own numbers. Library science, environmental science, social work, sustainability studies, each defines its own guide criteria. We have covered the MLIP-002 and environmental science rules in detail in our dedicated MLIS and MSc environment project videos, linked in the description. One more number to remember. As a standard rule, a guide is not permitted to supervise more than 5 IGNOU students at any given time, and this number is declared on the approval proforma itself. A few programs differ. For example, in MAPC, an academic counselor may supervise up to 10 learners. So here is the honest myth bust. There is no single universal eligibility rule for all of IGNOU. The pattern is common, but the exact degrees and years are program-specific. Before you finalize anyone, open your own project guideline PDF and read the supervisor section once. 2 minutes of reading can save 2 months of rejection. Eligibility is only the start. Now come the 6 golden rules and the practical question, where do you actually find a guide? Whatever your program, these 6 golden rules apply to your guide. 1. The guide must meet your program's qualification and experience criteria. 2. The guide must be a subject expert in your topic area. 3. Relatives can never be your guide. 4. You never pay the guide for guidance. 5. The guide must accept in writing, with signatures on your proposal papers. And 6. The guide stays within the student limit, normally 5 at a time. Let us underline Rule 3 because it is absolute. Your spouse, your direct relatives, and your blood relations are strictly not permitted to act as your guide. However convenient it feels, do not even propose it. If the relationship is discovered, the proposal and even the project can be rejected. Rule 4 surprises many students. You do not pay your guide anything for guidance. In fact, the flow is the opposite. The university itself pays the guide a small token honorarium, for example 500 rupees per student in the MBA project course, which the guide claims on a remuneration proforma after your final submission. So if someone demands a fee simply to act as your guide, that is not how the system is designed. Next, choose an active professional. IGNOU itself advises students to select guides who are active in the relevant area of the topic. A guide who currently teaches or practices in your field gives sharper feedback, better references, and faster approvals. And respect the student limit. The approval proforma asks how many IGNOU students the guide is currently supervising. If your guide is already at the limit, your proposal can be questioned. Ask this politely before you finalize anyone. Now the practical part. Where do you actually find an eligible guide? There are 5 reliable places. 1. Your study center, where the academic counselors of your own program are the most natural choice. 2. Your program coordinator or regional center, who can often connect you to approved supervisors. 3. Faculty members of local colleges and universities in your subject. 4. qualified seniors and managers at your own workplace, especially for MCA and management topics. And 5. Professional networks in your field, such as library associations for library science students. Once you identify someone, approach them properly. Share your topic idea and your program's project guideline. Confirm they meet the criteria and have space under the student limit. Then take their written consent, their signatures on the Proforma, and their signed biodata. A verbal yes is not enough. The papers make it official. And choose wisely between a good guide and a risky one. A good guide is qualified on paper, expert in your exact area, reachable and willing to review drafts. A risky guide has unverifiable credentials, an unrelated specialization, or no time for you. Remember, the guide's details go to IGNOU for scrutiny, so credentials must be genuine and provable. With the right person identified, everything now depends on paperwork. Let us master the biodata and the documents. Why does the biodata matter so much? Because official guidelines use very strong words here. If the complete and signed biodata of the supervisor is not enclosed with the synopsis, the proposal will not be entertained. Not delayed, not queried, simply not considered. The biodata is how IGNOU verifies that your guide is genuinely eligible. So what must a guide's biodata contain? 6 things, stated clearly. 1. The guide's name and date of birth. 2. Full address and contact numbers of both residence and current workplace. 3. Detailed educational qualifications mentioning each degree with its specialization, the university, and the year of award. 4. Detailed work experience in chronological order with designation, period, and the organization's name and address. 5. The current position and organization. And 6. The guide's signature with the date. That signature line deserves its own rule. The biodata must carry the guide's original signature along with the date. Unsigned printouts, photocopied signatures, or unsigned email attachments are the classic reasons packages bounce. If your guide is an academic counselor, there is a specific format. Mention clearly which courses they counsel, since when, and the name and code of the study center they are attached to. And in some programs like MAPC, a counselor guide does not need to submit biodata at all. Check your own program guide for this relaxation. Now see how the proposal package fits together. 3 documents travel together. First, the Proforma for approval, filled completely and signed by both you and the guide, with dates. Second, the synopsis itself, signed by both. And third, the guide's signed biodata, wherever it is required. Incomplete in any respect means rejected as a package. Let me make the biodata concrete with an illustration. Imagine your guide is Dr. Ritu Malhotra, Associate Professor of Commerce. Her biodata would list her MCom and PhD with specialization, university, and year. Then her teaching posts in order, say 9 years of postgraduate teaching, with each college's name and address, her current designation, both addresses and phone numbers, and finally her signature with the date. That single page proves eligibility at a glance. The guide signatures do not end at the proposal. Later in your final project report, the guide signs the certificate of originality, certifying that the work is genuinely yours. And after final submission, the guide can sign the remuneration proforma to claim the university's honorarium. From first page to last, the guide signature is your project's seal of authenticity. One warning slide worth memorizing: officials do not chase missing papers. An incomplete proforma, an unsigned synopsis, or a missing biodata leads to summary rejection of the proposal. Check the package 3 times before it goes. So the document recap is simple: signed proforma, signed synopsis, signed biodata at the proposal stage, and the certificate of originality in the final report. Papers done. Let us now talk about what your guide actually does for you day to day. What does a good IGNOU project guide actually do? 6 real contributions. 1. They help you narrow a broad idea into a focused, feasible topic. 2. They point you to the right literature, references, and data sources. 3. They advise on methodology, sampling, and tools. 4. They review your synopsis and report drafts and correct your direction early. 5. They keep your work original and plagiarism-free. And 6. They motivate you and can support authorization letters when you need permission to collect data. Equally important is what a guide does not do. The guide does not write your project. IGNOU states plainly that the complete project work should be done by the student only, and the role of the guide is about guidance. If a student is found uninvolved in any phase of the work, the project can be rejected at any stage. So work with your guide the smart way. Stay in regular contact from day one, not just at deadlines. Share small drafts early so corrections are cheap. Keep a record of meetings and feedback. Students who engage their guide consistently are the ones who finish on time and finish well. Now, what happens when things go wrong with the guide? Scenario 1. Your proposal is returned because of a guide issue. This happens when the guide does not meet the eligibility rules, or the school does not accept the proposed guide. The fix is defined. You will be advised of the decision and you must select a new eligible guide and submit the proposal afresh with all signatures of the new guide. Scenario 2 is rarer but real. Some supervisors get blacklisted by the university, often for guiding too many students or for integrity issues. Proposals naming such supervisors are rejected even when everything else is perfect. This is one more reason to choose a guide with genuine, verifiable credentials, and to avoid anyone who signs papers for money without real involvement. Scenario 3. You want to change your guide midway. It is allowed, but understand the cost. A change of guide for any reason requires a new project proposal Proforma signed by the new guide, and it is treated as a fresh proposal. That means a fresh approval cycle, so raise guide problems early, not at the end. And if your synopsis was already approved, be extra careful. Changing the guide or the topic after approval sends you back through approval again with the new details. Plan the guide decision seriously at the start so you never need this expensive U-turn. That covers the rules and the risks. Now let us answer the judgment question students actually ask. Does your choice of guide affect your marks? Honestly, yes, indirectly but strongly. The evaluator marks your report, not your guide's name, but a subject expert guide shapes a sharper topic, a cleaner methodology, and a tighter report. And those are exactly what evaluators reward. A weak or absent guide usually shows up as a weak report. Is an external or industry guide valid? Yes, completely. As long as the person meets your program's qualification and experience criteria, and their signed bio data goes with your synopsis. IGNOU's own guidelines list external faculty and professionals as eligible categories. External does not mean inferior, unverified means rejected. And for working professionals, here is the practical advantage. If a qualified senior at your workplace meets the criteria, they can be an excellent guide because they understand your data environment. For MCA students, IGNOU actually prefers a guide from the organization where the project is developed. Distance learners can absolutely complete the project without visiting campus. The guide system is built for that. Quick answers to the most searched questions. Can you do an IGNOU project without a guide? No. The guide's approval and signatures are mandatory parts of the proposal and the report. Do online mode students also need a guide? Yes. The program rules are the same, only the submission route differs through the online portal. Is the guide needed from the synopsis stage itself? Yes. The synopsis is prepared in consultation with the guide and carries their signature. So the guide comes first, not later. And what if you cannot find a guide at all? Approach your study center coordinator or regional center and ask them to connect you to approved counselors. That is the official, reliable route. Your guide journey connects to the rest of the project journey. How to write the synopsis your guide will sign, we teach in our MBA and MCom Synopsis videos. The exact report format are in our IGNOU project format video, where and how to submit in our project submission video, and what a finished package looks like in our project sample video. All links are in the description. Let us recap in 30 seconds. Your guide must match your program's eligibility, be a subject expert in your topic, and never be a relative. You pay nothing, the university pays the guide. The proposal travels as a signed package, Proforma, Synopsis, and biodata. Changing a guide means a fresh proposal, and every rule's final version lives in your own program guide on ignou.ac.in. So verify once before you submit. If this video brought you clarity, subscribe to Sri Chakrada Education for the complete IGNOU project series. For free guides, samples, and formats, visit ignouproject.com. And for personalized help with your synopsis or project, message us on WhatsApp. The number is in the description. This is the team of BK Sani, guiding IGNOU students since 2010. Thank you for watching and all the best for your project. Mio.